filed a petition for review on behalf of our client, the Zachor Legal Institute, under the Texas Public Information Act, because what's going on is Qatar has a relationship with Texas A&M University that involves money, obviously, right? We want the details. Our client wants the details. So one of the troublemakers in the foreign policy sphere is Qatar. Qatar is one of these countries it's one of the most significant, most powerful countries in the world because of its strategic location, the fact the United States relies on it that's a base of operations. And of course, it has this unfathomable wealth. The problem is it's a regime that is in many ways anti-American, Islamist, and anti-Semitic and anti-Israel. And they spend money like you can't believe here in the United States to enhance its credibility and increase its power. And Judicial Watch has an ongoing lawsuit on behalf of a client in Texas, which is now before the Texas Supreme Court. And we filed a petition for review on behalf of our client, the Zachor Legal Institute, under the Texas Public Information Act, because what's going on is Qatar has a relationship with Texas A&M University that involves money, obviously, right? We want the details. Our client wants the details. We're seeking records about the potential influence by the Qatar government's funding of certain Texas A&M University programs in its campus in Education City in Qatar. Education City. It's not just Texas A&M that has a shop in Qatar because of Qatar money. Qatari, I guess. Other universities do as well. But Texas A&M is a publicly funded university, so we have unique access to it under the open records laws of our country, including in Texas. Now, for instance, the Qatar Legal Institute is a US-based advocacy group dedicated to combating the spread of anti-Semitism. They made 2 requests to the under the Texas Public Information Act for information about the funding of donations made to the Texas A&M University by the government of Qatar and agencies and subdivisions of the government of Qatar. As I said, Qatar has controversially aligned itself with Islamic terrorists and extremists, which has placed it at odds with us, most importantly, Israel, our friend, and other U.S. allies in the Middle East. So they're bad actors in many respects. And one of the is Qatari funding, because we want to know the details. Our client does this, Zachor Institute, wants to know the details. Qatar funding of Texas A&M research and how Texas A&M, a public university, was able to establish a decree confirming campus in Qatar without the Texas legislature's permission or involvement. They grant degrees there in chemical engineering, electrical and computer engineering, mechanical engineering, and petroleum engineering. And they've granted more than, I think, 1,000 degrees since 2007. So the legal fight has been awfully complicated, and I'm afraid to describe it to you because I'm afraid I'm going to get it wrong. So you can go to our website and read about it. But essentially speaking, we want the documents, our client wants the documents, and Qatar doesn't want us to get the documents. And the fight is over how that fight is arrayed and where it is procedurally. So it's important that we get the documents. And there was a case that allowed us, at least the process, to move forward. The lawsuit to move forward. The lower court initially ruled in our favor, in our client's favor. Then it went up to an appeals court in the state of Texas. The appeals court kicked it back down again. We filed a petition with the Texas Supreme Court to get the case moving again. And so, as we said in the brief, the Qatari government has been identified as a vocal purveyor of anti-Semitism and a promoter of extremist terrorist groups. The merits of this case ask whether the Qatar Foundation, a private entity, but a front for the government, obviously, will be allowed to use the Texas Public Information Act They preclude public scrutiny of its involvement and influence on a public university. And as I said, the Qatari government has been misusing our nation's courts to hide the details of its controversial funding of Texas A&M University. And we hope the Texas Supreme Court puts a stop to this. So I just want to kind of highlight this for a second. We have this terror-supporting foreign government giving money to Texas A&M University, their partners. And our client and Judicial Watch and the American people, I think you probably agree, you want to see what's going on here. How is this happening? And we're in court trying to do it, and we have this foreign front go into court and battle us. And your Judicial Watch right now, and our client, the Zachor Legal Institute, is right now in court against one of the most powerful entities in the world, the Qatari government, in terms of money and influence. So when I hear someone say, well, you know, we're tired of all the talking, what are you going to do about it? I don't know what else we could do about it. We're in court. Some powerful stuff here. And our client, who's president of Zachor Legal Institute, Mark Greendorfer, said, when Zachor first submitted the public records request, we were concerned that foreign governments were using United States university campuses as breeding grounds for hate and indoctrination. With the dramatic and rapid explosion of anti-Semitism and anti-American unrest that has spread on campuses since we submitted the request, our concerns are only amplified. We urge the Texas Supreme Court to allow Zachor and the people of the United States, people of the state of Texas, to see what Qatar is trying to hide. And the timing is interesting, isn't it? Because you have Qatar in the center of the storm in Afghanistan. There's a reason the Taliban hangs out there. Some more great work by Judicial Watch. So we'll see what the Texas Supreme Court does, but your support for our work, again, would be appreciated.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.